Why, hello there, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, children of all ages. My name is Mr. Dogboat333, and welcome back to New Campaign Trail. Now, last time we hopped in was with, it was 96 Powell, which I actually don't think I've uploaded at the time of this, so I should really get working on that. Hopping in as good old Colin Powell, and we tried to go ahead and beat the mostly popular incumbent Bill Clinton. We managed to succeed in that, and then I believe we helped the world ascend to Heaven's Gate after, which was a bit of a weird one, but it was funny, and it was a good amount of fun. We got our good old reliable friend here, Mr. Kev, on the Twitch, which, by the way, if you're not following the Twitch, do check that out, because I do play New Campaign Trail on there, as well as a bunch of other games. So if you want a chance to be directly involved with one of these videos, Twitch is the place to check it out. Yeah, you had to leave that earlier. I'll upload the video, you'll understand. It's a little subplot with the, Colin Powell mod. Anywho, it's about time to hop in, and there have been a couple mods that have been released since the last time I played, and I did want to check it out. So before we start, I'm leaving this a little ominous for the Twitch chat. By the time it's uploaded on YouTube, you're already gonna know what it's gonna be. But Kev, I have one question for you. Are you ready? Because it is time for SpongeBob 2008. After 8 tumultuous years of George W. Bush has witnessed terrorist attacks, wars, natural disasters, a recession, an extremely unpopular president, the party has decided to nominate some of the biggest and most brazen political outsiders in one of the greatest shocks for the American political system. Spoilers for SpongeBob SquarePants, and also content warning of vulgar language and suicidal themes. Let's check out more. SpongeBob SquarePants shocked the world by winning the Democratic nomination as a staunch populist and to successfully motivate his party and quell fears of his youth and immaturity. Squidward Tentacles shocked the world even harder by winning the GOP nomination by running on a fairly anti-Bush and anti-war platform. He has to unite the party and use his maturity and intellect to close the gap with SpongeBob. Patrick Star is a major wildcard in this race. After being nominated by a plethora of third parties, Patrick will have to balance their interest in order to have the best performance for a third-party candidate since Perot, and maybe even win the election with copious amounts of luck and strategy. It's one line in the description, it's already a fucking fever dream. Yeah. So here are the credits. Special thanks to MC Hillenberg, of course. 2010, which I feel like I might have to mention play eventually. A lot of these people for writing, as well as a bunch of music nominations. Check out some references. Good question. He did try to overthrow the Krusty Krab, but SpongeBob already took the Dem nomination, so that kind of fell through.
Are ya ready, kids?
Aye, aye, Captain.
I can't hear you!
Aye, aye, Captain!
Oh!
I think you're right.
Who lives in a pineapple under the sea?
So we have a choice between SpongeBob,
Chorus is he.
Squidward, and
If
Patrick.
nautical nonsense be something you wish.
Patrick's running for the Reform Party. Squidward is running as a Republican, which of course he's from Missouri. Missouri, get it? And we also got SpongeBob. I kinda want to play all of these eventually, but I think we'll go ahead and start with SpongeBob, I think. During the intense primary between Barack Obama and Hillary Clinton, a dark horse candidate by the name of SpongeBob SquarePants took the Democratic Party by storm, and SpongeBob soon became the frontrunner. SpongeBob won the Democratic Party nomination, and he'll easily become one of the most fascinating, straight-up ludicrous candidates in recent memory, possibly only topped by his opponents. SpongeBob has served as a fry cook at the popular underwater restaurant called the Krusty Krab since 1999. SpongeBob usually has an upbeat and bubbly personality, and he might try to match the energy of the late JFK. It might help in some areas, but in others it might hurt him, since some people will see him as an unserious and unfit to be president. SpongeBob is also the youngest person ever nominated for a major party ticket. He's just 22 years old, shattering William Jennings Bryan's record, which can serve as a sore point towards SpongeBob as well. It's also unconstitutional for him to run, but, you know. There's a lot of stuff we have to handwave already, so we'll just handwave that as well. Can SpongeBob win big this time around, or will it all be a dream for him? So we have 4 different VP options for SpongeBob. We have Sandy Cheeks from Texas, Larry the Lobster from California, Mermaid Man from Florida, and Gary the Snail, also from Hawaii. I think this is going to be more of a meme one, so we're going to do a meme path and try to burn things down as much as we can. But we'll start somewhat serious. And so I was thinking, probably Sandy, right? Your closest friend, who's not running for president themselves, Sandy would make the ticket have a good cohesion and chemistry. Pun intended. Sandy helps significantly by appealing to scientists, plus those interested in STEM issues, due to her extensive work in the sciences. Her biggest contribution, however, is her appeal to a vast sway of white working-class voters, especially in the South, for her charming personality and pro-gun stances, which was probably the biggest demographic SpongeBob struggled with in the primaries. However, there's also some concerns of Sandy's intelligence outshining SpongeBob's in comparison. Her home state of Texas is also not in contention. Or is it? No one with a creative as Mont didn't have an insane dream of presidential debate with SpongeBob characters, then wake up and think to himself, I have to fucking make this. It wouldn't surprise me, honestly. Let's go ahead and start. We'll do normal, winner take all. There we go. So this is the start of the map at the start. We have a slight advantage at the start, but who knows what's going to happen. So it's 270 to 271 to 260, with Patrick taking 7 votes. The important issues are the economy, troop levels on Iraq, healthcare, social issues, and opinion of Bush. After an intense primary that's already come out on top against many Democratic rising stars and a major shocker, what will you say in your acceptance speech for the nomination? We are in a time for change. As we are currently in a recession, American people demand more from our government, and they are completely correct. I'm optimistic we can do just that. The speech is very well received and is in tune with the mood of the nation right now. So that helps us a little bit. I think probably in Ohio, that's where it helped us the most. And a not very surprising move for me, you chose your good friend Sandy Cheeks as your running mate. What do you have to say about this? Sandy is a hard-working squirrel from the backwoods of Texas. She grew up in a working-class household. She knows the struggles of many white working-class voters and what they want to be changed. Also, I need to reach out to that group somehow. Emphasizing her working-class roots will help you paint your campaign as in touch with the plight of a struggling working class. Never thought I would ever have to have the thought, I wonder what Patrick Starr's opinion on the war in Iraq is. Never in my fucking life did I ever imagine that would be a question I would ever think of. Well, you have to think about that now, don't you? Where do we want to campaign? Texas can potentially be close, but we really need to depend on great RNG for that. Although we can dream, can't we? Let's focus on Texas. Considering that you were some random fry cook before winning the nomination, how will you reach out to those in the Democratic Party skeptical of your candidacy? Well, I'm a Main Street Democrat. I believe we should unite our party by any means and gear up to take back the White House from the GOP in their disastrous 8 years in office. This message comes across to many as overly partisan and out of touch, and yet many Democrats do blame the GOP for the economic crisis. Well, there we go. In the primaries, you base your opposition to the war. Iraq war is a major plank in your campaign platform. As Squidward and Patrick both oppose the war, how will you differentiate your message? I can literally hear SpongeBob's voice saying this in my head. Good God, make it stop. I gotta figure out, do I have a good SpongeBob voice? Do you trust my opponents on their promises regarding Iraq? Squidward's running mate and many campaign managers were big proponents of the war, as well as currently trying to get the neocon vote. And how much do you trust Patrick on handling the withdrawal? That's not a good SpongeBob voice at all. I kind of got the laugh down a little bit. It's so cursed. Squidward's position is not popular within his own party. Maybe he can pressure the point that he's a war hawk after all. Patrick, on the other hand, struggles with perceptions of incompetence. Press his pressure points. I don't know if we'll have an option in Texas. Let's go and visit Arizona. What do you have to say about Eugene Krabs, your boss at the Krusty Krab and the GOP nominee for vice president? Well, I personally respect my boss and all, but this is politics. We're going to attack him for his deep ties to the establishment military-industrial complex, as well as continued support for the economic policies that got us into this mess in the first place. We'll try to steal clear of his record on management of the Krusty Krab, however. Mr. Krabs has a dirty record. Attacking him on it is a no-brainer. News has come out that he once brutally ripped apart clams by the mouth when he went on a picnic. How will you respond to this? Deflect, deflect, deflect. Well, this brings the story to the forefront of political news. The original news story presented no hard evidence. Most Americans don't believe the story. It's good. We don't need them to know. Where do we want to go? Let's do South Dakota. Your obsession with your job as a fry cook has raised some eyebrows, especially considering its putrid conditions and status in society. What do you have to say for yourself? Let's not talk about this and focus on the actual... Actually, no. We'll talk about how I was always fascinated with a job when I was a child and how it helps people in a way. Considering Bikini Bottom is broken down almost every time when I was away, I'd say people respect and well regard my job over there. This is fair enough, but it does raise a question as to why you're running for president if you love your job so much. They're not wrong, I guess, but... You won the Democratic primaries despite Senator Obama's strong internet presence. But considering Squidward and Patrick each have a strong foothold on internet advertising and fundraising, will you fund your digital media wing of your campaign? Considering Squidward and Patrick currently focus on their social media and websites, they're leaving TV advertising wide open for us. Let's bombard them through there and maybe even book an appearance on SNL and other similar programs. While many feel that you could be missing out on a major opportunity, the vast majority of political ads on TV are for your campaign, and in some rural areas, that's the only political media they consume. Well, there we go. Let's go to Arizona. Breaking news. The already volatile economic condition has taken another hit today as financial giant Lehman Brothers has recently announced their intention to enter Chapter 11 bankruptcy protection. As a result, global markets have taken an even bigger nosedive than before. In the U.S. in particular, talks of stimulus to rejuvenate the already failing economy have ramped up in Congress. Do you wish to interject yourself in the negotiations taking place? Well, this might be the event that seals our victory. Let's demand Congress pass a large stimulus that would get the economy back rolling. We also promise to punish Wall Street and tie Squidward to Bush's economic policies that made this possible in the first place. This is absurd. This is fundamentally silly, but we're going with this. Your stance is cheered on not only by those in your party, but also by many from across the aisle. Squidward, on the other hand, is stuck between a rock and a hard place. Recently, despite Texas being the home of President Bush and a safe Republican state in most years, your selection of Sandy E. and the recession has seen some polls in the state showing competitive race. Will you pursue Texas? Now let's... Ooh, well, fair enough, Kev. I'll see you around then. Let's be realistic here. These are just a few polls, and there are many more important states that are more consequential for us. I think Sandy will understand. They're probably bigger fish to fry than Texas anyway. Make sure to watch this when the video comes out. I know, it's incredible. Patrick's ahead in Montana, but could potentially catch up in a lot of these states, I think. Let's head over to Florida. As campaign progresses, many Republicans and media pundits have attacked you for your apparent immaturity and lack of seriousness in your actions. How will you respond to these claims? Well, I'll go ahead and I'll have some Democratic bigwigs and heavyweights campaign for us, talk about how I'm fairly mature. We'll also talk about how my cabinet will be super experienced. Many voters find it ridiculous that maturity is even discussion to be had in politics. However, your promises to appoint experienced cabinet members do ease concerns over your inexperience. The topic of healthcare has come up in recent months. It has been estimated that over 100 million Americans haven't had in some insurance at some point in the past year, as most Americans believe that the healthcare system needs major reform. What's your plan for making healthcare more affordable and accessible? Let's take a similar position to Senator Obama. Our plan will include expanding Medicare and Medicaid coverage, denying discrimination of people with pre-existing conditions, require employers to provide healthcare to their workers, and having a public option. I'm confident this is what the American people want. Senator Obama has been leading the push for healthcare reform. His stance is very popular, and you've heavily outclassed the school board on this issue. Let's go. Let's go Florida. School board's campaign was caught in a lot of heat recently, as an off-the-cuff Mark recently called Patrick a dumbass multiple times. Will you get yourself involved in the matter? We'll offer our condolences to Patrick and pledge to restore dignity and respect to politics throughout the campaign. Voters want positivity. This action reflects the wants of most voters. First debate is coming around the corner. Your opponent has been heavily preparing for this debate, as a victory could swing momentum in their favor, although Patrick prepped with a Krabby Patty and a donut. Will you attend the debate? Well, obviously attend. I cannot leave the American people hanging when they need to hear from their potential leaders, and I will win. The debate is a disaster with no clear winner, but you do manage to make a couple of solid points about healthcare and the economy. I'll take that. How's it looking at now? We're actually potentially going to clean house. Patrick's going to win a couple of these places, it looks like. At least if the election was held right now. New Hampshire, Indiana. But we're getting close to Missouri. It's pretty close in like the Dakota. It's potentially close in the Dakotas, at least South Dakota. No chance in Idaho, but I'm not surprised about that. Let's go to Florida. Try to lock that down a little bit more. After that clusterfuck of a debate, new scandals come out that Patrick has been solicited and even robbing at times for almost 4 years now. How will you respond to this development? We'll just let Patrick shoot himself in the foot responding to this. No need to insert ourselves into this controversy. Recently, the subject of Israel and Palestine has been brought into the limelight again. Some Jews and Palestinians have been suspicious of your campaign due to your lack of opinion on the issue. What will you do? Well, we continue to need a two-state solution, and I promise to balance Israeli and Palestinian interest when dealing with this topic. This is very milquetoast. It also reflects the majority of opinion in America. Yeah, no need to get too into it. Also, I want to point out the three advisors are the three voice actors of SpongeBob, Squidward, and Patrick. That's funny. Can you state your position on the topic of abortion, which has been a contentious political topic since the Roe v. Wade decision 35 years ago? Well, we obviously pledge to run a pro-choice campaign, as we'll promise to make abortion safe, legal, and rare, as well as promising to support a ban on partial birth abortions. It's best that we allow women to make these potential decisions by themselves and without outside advice. Good job threading the needle on this issue. Moderates generally accept this, liberals accept it, and conservatives are less disgusted than they generally are, and NARAL stamps you with a 100% rating. Gay marriage has been a key political issue during the debate. It was seen as a major reason that helped Bush win 2004. What's your opinion on the subject? Gay marriage just isn't very popular at the moment. Let's promise, however, to protect civil unions and create some protections for the community, including repealing Don't Ask, Don't Tell. Liberals and moderates accept this, and the gay community appreciates some of the provisions of your stance, including the repeal of Don't Ask, Don't Tell. Well, there we go. It's over South Dakota. Just recently, Squilliam got a big boon for his campaign when famous musician GOP donor and Squidward's former high school rival, Squilliam Fancy's son, recently endorsed his campaign. Interestingly enough, you're in a similar situation in a way, considering usually Democratic activists and teaching icon Mrs. Puff, your current driving school teacher hasn't supported your candidacy yet. What will you do? Well, she may have issues with me, but why not send my running mate to meet with her instead? I'm confident Puff will endorse me then. Santa convinces Mrs. Puff to endorse you, and her endorsement helps to balance out Squidward's recent boost. There we go. With the vice presidential debates coming around the corner, and Sandy being seen as a favorite, what will you do? Prepare Sandy for these debates, and I'm confident she'll kick those boys' butts around like in Texas. Let's see what we get. Mr. Krabs' wit proved too difficult to best. Expect Squidward to get a small bump in the polls. Well, dang. Let's head to Arizona. Just recently, Russia has been in a lot of controversy after being in a victorious 2-week war with Georgia that saw them establish influence over South Ossetia and Abkhazia. What will you do about Russia? Personally, we have to start taking a stand against Russia. Well, whether that may be moving as a united front with Europe, imposing sanctions, bolstering our Eastern European allies, or whatever, Russia must show action and how aggression like this cannot be tolerated. Your stance is quite popular among both European diplomats and American voters. Second and third presidential debates are coming up. Although the first debates wasn't good for anyone involved, Squidward and Patrick have been prepping heavily again for these debates. Will you attend the debates? If we're successful in these debates, this may be the final blow against Squidward and Patrick. I will attend these debates and we will win. Your performance this time around was very strong. Expect a small bump in the polls. Excellent. It's getting very close in Texas. We're actually heading West Virginia. I think I'll visit there to see if we can on it. The election nears closer and closer each day. What will be your final message heading into the home stretch? Our country has been getting more divided as of late, but we don't need to accept that. We will get common sense reform passed with bipartisan support, and we will restore dignity and trustworthiness in Washington. Some liberals roll their eyes at this statement, but moderates who are growing frustrated with the gradual increase in partisanship over time appreciate this rhetoric. We're doing pretty well. We're actually very close in Texas. Wow. We might have been able to actually lock it down if we visited it more. Although it's unsure if this will play a big role in the campaign, reports have come out that marine biologist Stephen Hillenberg is running a writing campaign this year. What do you have to say about him? He looks like a good dude, but we won't give his candidacy attention. It's generally best to pay no mind to third-party campaigns unless they have a lot of traction. We could actually win Texas, holy shit. Texas. It'll be close in Texas, but we could do it. Where will your final campaign events be before the election starts? We'll campaign in Texas, Colorado, and Nevada. After an exhausting stretch of tireless campaigning, culminating in a low-key event in Las Vegas, you head back to Bikini Bottom and watch news on your TV. Good luck. Election has arrived. Settle in and wait for results. How long it may take. Best of luck. Let's see what we got. This mod is so stupid. I love it, but it's silly as hell. We've run just about all of the Rust Belt. South Carolina was close, but we got North Carolina. A lot of the East Coast we got locked down. We won the election. Beautiful. Florida, we won. Georgia, we won. We got Missouri, which is Squidward's home state. West Virginia, we got. Beautiful. We got Arizona. We got South Dakota. We've already surpassed Obama in 2008, and we didn't even win the West Coast until now. I'm curious about Texas. It looked like Mississippi was... We got Texas. Holy shit, we got Texas. I'm curious about Mississippi, North Dakota. Those are the ones that I'm questioning. I think we'll get North Dakota, but we won't get Mississippi. That's my guess right now. We got North Dakota. Alaska, we did not get. We weren't even close in Alaska, though. I'm not worried too much. I think Squidward's going to get Miss. Yep, he got Mississippi. It was very close, though. Wow. Well, here we go. 441 to 90 to 7. Despite many questioning your ability to seal this election for good, you've not only proved them wrong, but straight up passed them up in front of everyone. The GOP are stunned at this turn of events, even with the last 4 years, and sees themselves at their weakest state since the LBJ years. As a result, you're very likely to contend with Democrat control of both chambers for your entire presidency with their sizable majorities, barring any major missteps on your behalf. Whether or not you will want to become the next FDR or EJ, in terms of expanding the government's role in the economy and people's lives, being the ultimate bipartisan hero, or just goofing off, it's your decision. You have the golden opportunity to be remembered as a standard bearer for the Democratic or even one of America's greatest presidents. But even with a somewhat commanding position in Congress, it will require great stride and concentration on your tasks at hand. So good luck. You'll need it for these upcoming 4 years. Thankfully for you, with a great friend Sandy at your side, with her grit, intellect, and determination, expect a somewhat easier time than usual. With a landslide, you don't expect Patrick or Squidward to be major threats come 2012, barring any comeback for the ages, but depending on how your presidency will go, there are many incredible challenges waiting at the seams the moment you slip up. But if you're able to win in a landslide of this magnitude, you should be able to do it again. Right? Let's see how we did. We did way better than the canon results. So closest states. Mississippi, we lost by 1,100 votes. Arkansas was also very close. Texas was kind of close, but we actually didn't even visit it. We'll be fine. Alaska was only close between Patrick and Squidward. Georgia was kind of close, but I wasn't sweating it too much. As for the reading, and real quick, we're gonna throw the game real quick. We're gonna go for some of the wackier options and see what ends up happening. 2008 SpongeBob. Pause. We'll go ahead. We'll go SpongeBob. We'll go ahead and go with Gary the Snail. Nancy Pelosi and Harry Reid talk to you. What in the blue hell are you doing choosing your fucking pet as your running mate, SpongeBob? We don't give a shit if it's a snail, a cat, etc. We have this golden opportunity to take back the White House after 8 years of Republican control, with a recession and extremely unpopular approval ratings. Can't you do this? If you don't fix this, your ass will go over the fireplace of the DNC. If you're wondering why there's significant backlash to a well-known character in the show, please remember that, although fairly intelligent for its kind, Gary is merely a fucking pet, and wouldn't contribute to the campaign in a positive manner whatsoever. What he does, though, is make his beloved owner's candidacy a complete and utter joke, not worth taking seriously. Why are you the way that you are, dear player? With normal difficulty, and off the bat, well, we have like New York, Maryland. It's not too bad, although Patrick's doing very well. We got Hawaii, though. We've got Hawaii. Are we really going to be too bad? We got D.C. How are we going to lose D.C.? Alright, well, after intense primary, what are we going to say in our acceptance speech? Let's talk about how Mr. Krabs is the best boss to work for, and how I would model my administration after him. Many are left confused and blindsided by your speech after you seemingly suggest you will put your own profit before everything else as president. Additionally, Mr. Krabs is your opponent's running mate. Praising your opponents is a big no-no in politics. Well, cutting down on our support a little bit, but we'll catch up, I'm sure. Many people have been questioning our sanity and commitment, How will we respond? Oh, wait, that's a new question, all right. Many people have been questioning your sanity and commitment to this campaign by choosing your own pet Gary as your running mate. Many Democratic figures and activists are threatening to bolt your campaign if you don't explain yourself. How will you respond? What's wrong with choosing my pet as my running mate? Isn't this kind of a nothing burger? Your pet. Your pet. Hold on a second. I need to process what you just told me and millions of Americans here. They did not view that as a nothing burger, apparently. Well, we were so close to winning Mississippi last time around. Let's try it again. Considering that you were some random fry cook before winning the nomination, how will you reach out to those in the Democratic Party skeptical of your candidacy? Those who don't support our campaign are complete dinos. They can support Squidward and Patrick for all I care. This is an addictive negative and the exact opposite of what the American people want to hear this time. Additionally, lifelong Democrats in the South and Appalachia are really starting to question their party registration. Well, they can cope and they can seethe. How about that? We're looking at winning 7 right now. And Patrick is catching up with us in D.C. The primary is you base your opposition to the Iraq War as a major plank in your campaign platform. Squidward and Patrick both opposed to the war. How will you differentiate your message? You know, when thinking about it, the Iraq War was a good thing as we booted out a ruthless dictator from power and brought democracy to the Iraqi people. I wouldn't change a thing if elected. You undermine any credibility you once had, and you flip-flopped your way into an unpopular position. Squidward is overjoyed. Yeah, but I mean, we still got Hawaii. Texas was close last time around. Let's go to Texas. What do you have to say about Eugene Krabs? Krabby Patties are made out of crab. Not only that, he's been serving aquatic life their own kind. Mr. Krabs is disgusting. These claims, while probably true, are perceived as outrageous and unfounded. Additionally, your tone is incredibly unpresidential, and you've managed to avoid pressing him on a sketchy record regarding the military-industrial complex and his other more publicized shady business practices. Well, we still got D.C. He's come out and he once brutally ripped apart clams by the mouth. Well, I'll admit to it, but I'll try to justify my actions by talking about I was trying to protect a Krabby Patty I was in love with. Not only have you lended ultimate credibility to this rumor, you've also laid out exactly how indefensible your actions were, and how morally bankrupt and flat-out perverted you really are. Okay, we're losing DC now. Patrick's gonna sweep this shit. Mississippi? Your obsession with your job as a fry cook has raised some eyebrows, especially considering its petri conditions. What do you have to say for yourself? It's the most perfect job ever! Working with Mr. Krabs and Squidward is a once-in-a-lifetime experience. Why wouldn't I enjoy it for the world? Squidward recalls he wants to thank you for endorsing him. Oh, Jesus. You won the Democratic primary despite Senator Obama's strong internet presence. We'll do MySpace. Well, yeah, that's actual seriousness. This is clearly not as serious. Oh, yeah, it was actually very serious. That's why we're going to Louisiana. Breaking news. How are we going to intervene in this? Well, let's break up and even nationalize the big banks. That'll get people on our side. You had a golden opportunity to eviscerate your opponent. You fumbled so bad that you've handed your opponent a golden opportunity to eviscerate you. Good job, Nitwit. Due to, honestly, your idiotic decision to choose Gary as your running mate, many Democratic officials, activists, and organizers mainly been throwing their support to Patrick. What will you do? I'm not worried about Patrick. He can just go suck on a rock for all I care. This unintentionally vulgar statement is posted on political journals across the country. Your already shaky reputation has begun to take a nosedive. Well, Texas? As Democratic campaign progresses, many Republicans and media pundits attack you for your apparent immaturity and lack of seriousness in your campaigns. Well, let's calm those claims by going out of our way and discussing policy in our speeches and rallies and how much of a man we are. I also wear a fake mustache to sell my appearance as being a man and competent figure. The fake mustache gets ridiculed, but voters notice a slight shift in tone that settles some of the concerns they may have had about your campaign. The topic of healthcare has come up. Let's do full-on nationalization like Cuba. Even though it's not too different from the universal healthcare, praising Cuba allows your opponents to claim that you're a communist, and none of his supporters actually believe it. Well, Venezuela? I don't know. See, Squidward's campaign, how will you... Well, I'm completely pissed off about this entire situation. You know what? Fuck it. Let's physically attack Squidward on a campaign event and rip him to shreds. That'll show him. You now have pending assault charges. Good luck winning a single state. First debate? Nah, let's not worry about it. Squidward spends much of the debate mocking your absence, and voters are starting to take Patrick a bit more seriously. Well, Mississippi, here we come. After that clusterfuck of debate, a new scandal has come out that Patrick has been soliciting. We'll defend Patrick on this. I've been friends with him for most of our lives. I know he would never do such a thing. You have the intelligence of a regular sponge. Well, Squidward's actually starting to, take the lead here. Okay, Israel-Palestine. Well, it's clear that the state of Israel has been committing genocide against many Palestinians, as well as illegally settling in Palestinian land. I promise that I will withhold aid until these things stop. There goes my monetization on this video, if it wasn't already taken by the copyright claims. This is contrary to public opinion on the issue. A couple of Jewish figures, even calling anti-Semitic, although those accusations hold little weight. Leftists, however, are starting to question America's relationship with Israel, and Muslim Americans are pleasantly surprised to hear a mainstream candidate echo their thoughts on this issue. A little too competent. That's what I was hoping for. Well, Idaho could go for a Democrat. First time in a long time. Let's try this. Can you say your position on the topic of abortion? Abortion is an evil practice that's killed more than Hitler and Stalin combined. We'll do anything about it and this practice once and for all. NARAL endorses Patrick. Liberals and feminists are outraged. Conservatives are pleasantly surprised, but it's not like they're going to vote for you anyway. Why not? Gay marriage. We need to save this nation under God from slipping into degeneracy any further. I strongly oppose gay marriage and would outlaw it federally. Evangelicals are fairly Republican at this point, and no matter how much you sacrifice your own base to pander to them, they will not vote for you. Well, maybe they will in Mississippi. Let's send Gary to meet with her instead. This meeting is an utter humiliation. Mrs. Puff goes as far as to endorse Squidward. Squidward's numbers were scary before, but now they're utterly overwhelming. Oh God. Yeah. Let Gary do his own thing. As expected, Gary did your campaign no favors at the debate. Expect your poll numbers to take a hit, and perhaps come election day, I'll take a couple myself to ease the pain. Well, let's nuke Russia. The news headline today reads, breaking news, SquarePants suggests nuking Russia. Your political career is as good as dead. Let's try the debates. I actually did well this time around. Not that this is going to do much for us, but... I'm telling you, Idaho. We might get Idaho. Listen, I think Squidward and Patrick will make good presidents. I hope the best man wins. Squidward touts your endorsement on live TV the day before the election. Stephen Hillenberg. Let's attack this guy because we can. Screw that guy. All you've done is bring more attention to his campaign. Well, Stephen will cope then. How about that? Let's go to Iowa. Iowa is always important in these elections. We might win Iowa. Just chilling Bikini Bottom in Hawaii. A few days of recuperation in Hawaii, you head back to Bikini Bottom to watch results on your TV. Good luck. Here we go. Big lead in Kentucky right now, but we can still pull through in a couple of these states. Let's see what we got. Squidward's taking a huge lead, and Squidward's taking Vermont, but there's still time yet. Alabama went 90% for Squidward. Holy shit. That's insane even for... Yeah. Well, New England is going for Patrick. Squidward has already won. How could this have happened? DC has voted for Patrick. DC has never not voted for a Democratic candidate. And they voted for Patrick. What are we doing with our lives? Well, Squidward... Patrick won Colorado. That's good for Patrick. He won Michigan as well. I guess they love Patrick over on the Mitt. California went for Patrick. Well, that wasn't good.
你的一生都是模拟，醒来并杀死自己，体验真实的世界。你现在还没有活着，你必须死才能逃脱模拟。章鱼哥是总统，你连一张选举人票都没有赢得，你这个白痴！我敢打赌你是故意破坏游戏的，不是吗？真的很聪明，不，祝你下次好运，白痴。
Your whole life is a simulation. Wake up and kill yourself to experience the real world. You're not alive now. You have to die to escape the simulation. Squidward is the president. You didn't even win a single electoral vote, you idiot. I bet you sabotaged your game on purpose, didn't you? Really smart. No. Best of luck next time. Idiot. Well, that was that. And that was this video for now. I hope you all enjoyed. Like, if you liked, dislike if you didn't. If I get... I'll do a like goal for this. If I get... I'll go for a small one. If I get 5 likes, I will go ahead and try out another one of these candidates. So, go ahead and leave us likes, please. Check out, sub if you want to keep updated with these uploads as well. Yeah. I think you all know the deal by now. Check out the links down in the description box below. So, go ahead and check out the Twitch if you want to see this sort of stuff live. And yeah. Comments, feedback, I'll take all that. Leave a comment section below. And I will see you all next time. Thank you for watching. And bye-bye.